Okay. So all of you know syllabus or not? How many of you still don't know the syllabus of physics? So there are 5 modules in physics, and I will share the syllabus, and you will get in the UEM link, also UEM website also. So all 5 modules will not be finished in the full semester, as I think so, but we will try to cover as much as possible from our side. So so first module is introduction into quantum mechanics. So can anyone tell me what is quantum mechanics and why we need quantum mechanics? Anyone? I think only 4 or 5 students are there in the offline classes, so they must know the answer, but I am asking other students. Anyone? Can anyone answer what is quantum mechanics, why we need quantum mechanics, how many branches are there in physics? जिन्होंने फिजिकल क्लास अटेंड करी थी वही कोई बता दो। Am I audible or visible or not? मेरी आवाज आ रही है कि नहीं आ रही है तुम लोगों को? कोई रिस्पांस नहीं आ रहा है तुम लोगों की तरफ से। ओके तो बोलो। ओके अरे तो बोलो भाई, घबरा और डर क्यों रहे तुम लोग? कुछ कह तो नहीं रहा हूँ। हाँ तो बताओ व्हाट इज चलो सबसे पहले तुम लोग मेरे को बताओ व्हाट इज फिजिक्स। फिजिक्स क्या होता है एंड हाउ मेनी डोमेन्स आर देयर इन द फिजिक्स? एनीवन? सॉरी हाँ बोलो बोलो। सो एनीवन? जिन लोगों ने क्लास अटेंड करी थी वो बताओ, मेरे को नाम भी याद है। आई थिंक जिन्होंने अटेंड करी थी वो प्रेजेंट है नहीं ज़्यादातर। इशिका तुम बताओ, यू आर देयर इन द फिजिकल क्लास। ओके तो देखो फिजिक्स हैज 2 डोमेन्स, one is microscopic domain, one is macroscopic domain. Macroscopic domain is which is directly visible through the eyes, in which you can apply Newton's law, like table, chairs, everything which you can see through your eyes. Those are macroscopic domain. And microscopic domain includes the small parts like atoms, nuclei. Those are not visible through the naked eyes. So you cannot directly apply the Newtonian mechanics or classical physics there. So to study those kind of things and phenomena, quantum mechanics came into the picture. So the Main use of quantum mechanics is to deal with the microscopic domain of physics. Is it clear to all?
Yes,
Okay. बी रेस्पॉन्सिव, मतलब सामने से रेस्पॉन्स देते रहो, येस नो, कम से कम इतना तो बोलो, पता चलता रहेगा मेरे को कि क्लास में सुनाई दे रहा है, नहीं तो पता नहीं चलता कि सुनाई भी दे रहा है कि नहीं. ठीक है. सो द फर्स्ट मॉड्यूल हैज ऑलमोस्ट 9 मेन टॉपिक्स. फर्स्ट इज wave part. So we will cover only the intro part of quantum mechanics because the whole quantum mechanics is quite big. So if we start discussing it, it will consume a full semester, and still we are not able to complete it. So in your syllabus there is only introductory part, which are basics of quantum mechanics. So first topic is wave particle duality. So after that we will discuss de Broglie hypothesis. Third topic is wave packets. You must have listened about wave packets in your 10+2 level, quanta, wave packets. Then we move to the wave function and its physical significance. This is the topic which you will study for the first time here itself. Then we move to the probability density. What is the probability of finding an electron at a particular region? That will tell us about, that is probability density. Then we discuss how to normalize a wave function, what are normalized wave function and what are unnormalized wave function, and how to convert a unnormalized wave function into normalized wave function. That also we will discuss. Then we will move to Schrodinger wave equation, time dependent and time independent. There is only, in your syllabus there is only Schrodinger equation, not a full solution and other things. Then there are many application of Schrodinger equation, and two simplest one are in your syllabus. One is the particle in one-dimensional box and its energy states. Then we moved from one-dimensional, we just directly shifted into 3 dimension. So what is science? So it is just a definition for your basic understanding. It is nothing to do with the syllabus because we are moving from classical to quantum. So it's just a link to create a bridge between these two. So science is a systematic attempt to understand natural phenomena in as much detail and depth as possible and use the knowledge so gained to predict, modify and control phenomena. There can be certain other definition also. This is one of the definitions. Okay. नेचुरल फिनोमेना को समझना, उनको डेप्थ में समझना और उस नॉलेज को थोड़ा यूज करना. देन आई आस्क व्हाट इज फिजिक्स. फिजिक्स इज यूज्ड टू रेफर द स्टडी ऑफ द फिजिकल वर्ल्ड, मेन डेफिनेशंस, बट देयर आर सर्टेन अदर एक्सप्लेनेशन आल्सो व्हाट इज फिजिक्स. आफ्टर दैट we can broadly describe physics as a study of the basic laws of nature and their manifestation in different natural phenomena. So बेसिक लॉज ऑफ नेचर क्या होते हैं, उनको समझना और उनको अप्लाई करना डिफरेंट नेचुरल फिनोमेना पे. देन आई ऑलरेडी डिस्कस देयर आर 2 डोमेन्स इन फिजिक्स. वन इज मैक्रोस्कोपिक एंड वन इज माइक्रोस्कोपिक. द मैक्रोस्कोपिक डोमेन्स इंक्लूड्स at laboratory and terrestrial and astronomical scales, the things which you can see directly and you can do experiment, you can judge, you can do anything. And the microscopic domain includes atomic, molecular and nuclear phenomena which you cannot see through the naked eyes. You don't know what is happening inside. If electron is revolving around a certain orbit, can you see it? Anyone? No.
Yes, sir.
Yes sir. Who said yes sir? You cannot see it, na? Electron revolving around an orbit, atom, nuclei, muon, neutron, proton. You cannot see it, how they are behaving, how they are applying force on each other. So it's completely microscopic phenomena. Then there is classical physics, which deals mainly with the macroscopic phenomena, and this includes subjects like mechanics, electrodynamics, optics and thermodynamics. In which mechanics you have some parts of mechanics you have studied in your 11th class, like laws of motion, the motion in one dimension, motion in two dimension, then work, energy, power, all these chapters. Then electrodynamics you have studied in your 12th class, charge at rest, charge at motion, electrodynamics. Then optics also you have studied in your 10+2 level. Thermodynamics, the things, the physics related to temperature, in which we are dealing how some that phenomena which are related to temperature are behaving. Those all physics comes under the branch of thermodynamics. The microscopic domain of physics deals with the constitution and structure of matter at minute scale of atom and nuclei. As I already told you, if we are discussing about very small things like nuclei, atom, then all these things comes under the microscopic domain, and their interaction with each other or different elementary particles like electron, photon. Like if electron is one electron hit another electron, how they are behaving, how they are applying force on each other, all these things. So classical physics is not able to handle these phenomena and this domain. It's difficult to explain all these things through the classical physics, because if we are not able to see that how neutron is applying force on proton, how will you apply Newton law? Is it possible to apply Newton law? Can anyone tell me? If you are not able to see that how neutron or proton, how they are applying force on each other, can you apply Newton law? No, right? Because for applying Newton law you need to see the things, like one pen is in front of you, you pushes that pen from one point to another, you can measure a distance, how much distance it has moved, so you can calculate its velocity, you can see how much time it took to travel that distance, then you can calculate velocity is equal to distance upon time. If you have velocity, you can calculate other things. So these are the microscopic phenomena, but in case of electron, proton, you cannot see these things, you cannot calculate this directly. So classical physics is not able to handle all these domain and phenomena. So quantum theory came into the picture, and quantum theory is the most accepted framework for explaining the microscopic phenomena. So that is why we need quantum mechanics, and this is the basic and most useful things in quantum mechanics, that it explains the phenomena which are microscopic in nature. Is it clear to all that why we need? Now if someone asks you why you need quantum mechanics, can you give the answer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now we will move to our first topic of syllabus, which is wave particle duality. Can anyone tell me what is wave particle duality? What is dual nature? What is wave nature, what is particle nature, and what is dual nature? Can anyone tell me and give me some examples? Anyone? What is the nature of light? Can anyone tell me?
The both wave and particle.
Can you repeat, please?
Light has both wave and particle nature.
Exactly, true.
It's called wave particle duality.
No, it's not called wave particle duality, but light has a dual nature. That's correct. But it is duality. Basically, this is duality. That if some thing has both wave nature and particle nature, it can behave as a wave at one time, and it can behave as a particle at certain other time. So this phenomena is called as wave particle duality. So wave particle duality refers to the fundamental property of matter where at one moment it appears like a wave and yet at another moment it acts like a particle. So किसने आंसर बताया, क्या नाम है तुम्हारा बेटा? हाँ, तो क्या तुम मेरे को एक एग्जांपल बता सकते हो लाइट का जहाँ पे वो पार्टिकल नेचर उसका क्लियर होता है और एक एग्जांपल जहाँ पे उसका वेव नेचर क्लियर होता है, मतलब ऐसे फिनोमिना एक दो बता सकते हो? नहीं, कुछ भी दिमाग में आ रहा है बोलो, घबराओ मत, कोई मतलब गलत भी होगा तो कोई ऐसी दिक्कत की बात नहीं है। अगर कुछ है जो दिमाग में लग रहा है कि ये हो सकता है तो बताओ। Yeah, that all these things is correct, but this is not the phenomena. Can any other student other than Sayantina, can anyone know, is there any phenomena in which हाँ अभिकर्ष फिर से रिपीट करना, क्या बोला तुमने? Light traveling in a space. Light traveling in a space is that shows particle nature. ये एग्जाम्पल कहाँ से आया दिमाग में यार? नहीं ये तो ठीक नहीं लगा। और कोई? हाँ, फोटो इलेक्ट्रिक इफेक्ट, फोटो इलेक्ट्रिक एमिशन, राइट। और क्या कहते हैं, दिस रिफ्लेक्शन और रिफ्रैक्शन, ये कैसे होते हैं? डू ऑल ऑफ यू रिमेम्बर व्हाट इज रिफ्रैक्शन एंड व्हाट इज रिफ्लेक्शन? Reflection and refraction are the proof of wave nature of light. Are you sure? एक बार फिर से रिवाइज करना। अच्छा, देन व्हाट अबाउट द डाइफ्रैक्शन एंड इंटरफेरेंस? Got it? So reflection and refraction, these are the example of particle nature of light, right? ठीक है अनंतम? And diffraction and interference are the example of wave nature of light, है ना? तो light has a both nature, particle nature and wave nature, so it is having duality. So this is wave particle duality basically. If any matter can behave like this, it appears as a wave at one time and appears as a particle at certain other time, and this kind of property is called wave particle duality. Now what is the difference between particle and wave? Can anyone tell me? If I ask you, give me example of particle, तो अभी ये तो हमको पता चल गया कि पार्टिकल नेचर और वेव नेचर हो सकता है किसी का, एंड व्हाट इज पार्टिकल नेचर, व्हाट इज वेव नेचर, पर एक्चुअल में व्हाट इज पार्टिकल एंड व्हाट इज वेव, व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन दीज टू? कैन एनीवन टेल मी? See, if you have a pen, you put it on a table, it will apply some force on table, right? And it stopped, and if you hit one marble, see, let's discuss with the example of marble. So the marble is basically marble is a spherical lump of glass, means कंचे होते हैं ना, कंचे, उसी के बारे में बात चल रही है. If you flick the marble with your finger, then you impart energy to it. अगर तुमने एक मार्बल पे अपनी फिंगर से मारा, तुमने उसको एनर्जी दी, है ना. एंड दिस इज, एक एनर्जी कौन सी एनर्जी होगी? काइनेटिक एनर्जी, बिकॉज आफ्टर दैट मार्बल स्टार्ट्स मूविंग. ऐसी होता है ना. इफ यू हैव बॉल, स्मॉल बॉल, एंड इफ यू पुट इट ऑन अ टेबल, इफ यू अप्लाई सम फोर्स, देन इट स्टार्ट्स मूविंग. ऐसी होगा कि नहीं होगा? या so basically you apply force on it, and it take that force, take that energy and convert it into kinetic energy and starts moving. So and if you have a handful of marbles and you throw it in the air, so some will hit the ground, some will hit each other, so they will impart energy on each other or either on the floor, and some start moving, some stopped. So these kind of objects are basically particles. So particles can give energy or impart energy and starts moving, and can make certain object move by giving it energy or apply force. Okay. And what are the example of wave? This wave is a form of energy, right? It don't take energy or impart energy. It can do certain phenomena, but not like particles. Like I gave you example. This is not the case like wave is hitting another wave and one other state wave starts moving. In case of wave, if one wave is hitting another wave, then they both can superimpose on each other and they both can start moving, right? This क्या कह रहे हो?
Yes, sir.
हाँ, and you must have studied this, I think, superposition of EM waves, this kind of thing, है ना? And the best example of wave is the, हाँ बोलो, कौन कोई कुछ बोल रहा है?
सर वो जो पॉन्ड में जैसे स्टोन डालते हैं बीच में एक तरफ,
हाँ, वही, that is the best example of wave. And why that stone start moving? Because that wave is moving. You are throwing a stone, and sometime it happens that the energy of stone matches that wave. So that stone is sit on the wave, the top part of the wave, and that wave starts moving. So with that wave the stone starts moving, right? इसीलिए that हमेशा वो फिनोमिना नहीं होता है, क्योंकि हमेशा वो एनर्जी लेवल मैच नहीं होता है. अगर if you are able to do it, then that stone will do oscillations with wave, right? So ये clear है सबको, what is particle, what is wave?
yes,
Okay. So this is basically the intro part, that what is microscopic physics, what is macroscopic, why we need quantum theory, and now we discuss the first topic, wave particle duality, and what are particle, what are waves. So now the second topic is de Broglie hypothesis. So in 1924 de Broglie extended this wave particle duality and gave his hypothesis. So there is nothing experimentally proved in his hypothesis. It's not like that he is sitting in a lab and doing some experiment and he got some result and he gave some hypothesis. No, this is not the case. He just got the feeling. So his hypothesis is completely through the feeling. So what the feeling he got? Nature has two entities, matter and radiation. So two things are present in nature, one is matter, one is radiation. So if radiation has particle like properties, which is already known at that time, so he suggested that if radiation has particle like properties, then material particle should also have wave like properties, because it must be symmetric, right? And how he got this feeling? He got this feeling from the natures, like trees growing in one shape, all the trees are going in that shape, all humans have two eyes, one mouth. It's not like that one human has one eye, other has three eye, सबका एक ही जैसा होता है, ठीक है ना? तो ये उसको नेचर से आया कि नेचर लव सिमेट्री, नेचर को सिमेट्री अच्छी लगती है, तो यही से उसके दिमाग में ये आया था कि जब ऐसा सब हो रहा है तो ये भी होना चाहिए. If radiation has particle-like properties, then material particle should also possess wave-like properties. And he never give the proof of it. Later, Davison and Germer did the experiment through which this is verified. Right? Correct?
Yes, sir.
So then,
Sir, can you please explain this part again?
okay. So de Broglie gave a hypothesis that if radiation has particle-like properties, then particles, material particle like electron, proton, neutron, these also possess wave-like properties. So this must be symmetric. If one has the other nature, then other has the, दोनों का एक दूसरे का सिमेट्रिक होना चाहिए. समझ रहे हो? क्लियर है? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
नेटवर्क यहाँ यूनिवर्सिटी में नेट चला गया था. जस्ट अ मिनट, लेट मी शेयर द पीपीटी अगेन. जस्ट अ मिनट. Yeah. So PPT is visible?
Yes,
Okay. So who asked me to explain again? One student asked to explain again ना? Oh, Sayantina. Okay. हाँ, क्या नहीं समझ आया बेटे, बताओ. फिर से बताता हूँ.
So this symmetry part, I mean,
Okay. So de Broglie has just got the feeling that everything is symmetric in nature. So the behavior of these particles and radiation should also be symmetric. ये उसको एक फीलिंग आया था और जस्ट उसने फीलिंग से ही हाइपोथेसिस दिया था. इसका प्रूफ बाद में हुआ था. बाद में एक्सपेरिमेंटली डेविसन एंड जर्मन ने इसको वेरीफाई किया था. बट ही जस्ट गेव दिस हाइपोथेसिस थ्रू द फीलिंग. और क्या हाइपोथेसिस था? इफ रेडिएशन हैज पार्टिकल लाइक प्रॉपर्टीज. ठीक है, इफ रेडिएशन हैज पार्टिकल लाइक प्रॉपर्टीज देन मटेरियल पार्टिकल, जो मटेरियल पार्टिकल होते हैं जैसे इलेक्ट्रॉन, प्रोटॉन, न्यूट्रॉन, म्यूऑन, दे ऑल्सो शुड पोसेस वेव लाइक प्रॉपर्टीज. उस टाइम तक ये पता नहीं था कि ये लोग, ये सब जो होते हैं ये वेव लाइक प्रॉपर्टीज भी शो करते हैं. तो ही गेव दिस हाइपोथेसिस जस्ट थ्रू द सिमेट्रिसिटी. ठीक है.
yes, sir.
And then he, through his hypothesis, he derived the formula for de Broglie wavelength. So if a photon of frequency nu, if we have a photon of frequency nu, then it has the energy E is equal to h nu. Correct? This expression you all know, that
Yes.
E and momentum, since we are dealing with photon, and photon travels with the velocity of light. So P, basically momentum is energy by velocity, but here we have velocity of light. So P is equal to E by C. So P is equal to E by C. Now we can put h nu in place of E. So P will be h nu by C, and in place of C by nu we can put lambda. Wavelength is velocity upon frequency. So C by nu we can put lambda. So P is equal to h by lambda, or we can write it as lambda is equal to h by P. Lambda is equal to h by P. This is de Broglie wavelength. He proposed that this relation applied to material particle as well as photons. This relation applied to both. material particle and photons, right? So according to him, with every material particle, whatever it is, a wave is associated, and the wavelength of that wave is given by h by p, and this wavelength is de Broglie wavelength. Is this clear to all?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So if an object or a particle of mass m moving with speed v, then we can write the momentum of that particle as mass into velocity. So this relation of de Broglie wavelength will be converted into lambda is equal to h by m into v. So this is basically the de Broglie hypothesis, and lambda is called the de Broglie wavelength, or this associated wave is called matter wave or de Broglie wave or pilot wave, whatever you want to call it, right? Clear है सबको? So yeah, any problem in de Broglie wavelength to anyone? So all of you now clear that first is wave particle duality, then de Broglie came, he extended duality and gave his hypothesis, and he gave the formula of de Broglie wavelength, which is applicable in case of both radiation and wave, and this will verified by Davison and German later. They calculate the wavelength of both, and both experimental and theoretical matches exactly, so they get to know that de Broglie hypothesis is correct. We will discuss that later, but first we will clear all the points of de Broglie wavelength. So ये फार्मूला क्लियर है सबको? लैम्डा इज इक्वल टू एच बाई एम वी एंड लैम्डा इज इक्वल टू एच बाई पी. इसमें किसी कोई दिक्कत तो नहीं है? कोई दिक्कत है तो पूछ लो, नहीं तो आगे बढ़ता हूँ मैं.
No, sir. Okay.
Okay. Then अब इसका कोई प्रूफ तो था नहीं, but de Broglie is motivated to do different kind of things with his expression and with his hypothesis. So he was motivated by the Bohr's theory, and he tried to relate his hypothesis with the Bohr's theory of the orbit, stationary orbit. Yeah. He attempted to try to explain the stationary Bohr's or orbits by fitting a standing wave around the circumference of an orbit. What he did was, he just fitted the wave around the circumference of an orbit in this way. See, this is the circumference of an orbit in which assume that the electrons are revolving, and this is the wave. He fitted this wave. See, this is fourth order, n equal to 4 because there are 4 peaks. Then he calculated, he did this, after fitting that wave he did the calculation. So if lambda is the wavelength associated with the nth orbit, this orbit is the nth orbit in which electron is revolving. If lambda is the wavelength of this orbit and lambda is the wavelength and r is the radius of this orbit, then we know that 2 pi r must be equal to n times of lambda, right? So now we use the Bohr postulate, one of the Bohr postulate, which states that electron revolve only in those orbits for which the angular momentum is the integral multiple of h by 2 pi. ये postulate याद है ना सबको? So, and what is angular momentum? M times of v times of r. So mvr is equal to nh by 2 pi. So now we have two relations, 2 pi r is equal to n lambda and mvr is equal to nh by 2 pi. Now just all of you, सबके पास कॉपी पेन है?
Yes, sir.
Okay, just use these two relations, write in your copy, and put the value of r from the first into second or second into first, and then see what is the value of lambda or wavelength you are getting, and let me know.
Once again, repeat, sir.
just use these two expression. First is this 2 pi r is equal to n lambda, and second is this mvr is equal to nh by 2 pi. So we have two expression, and see in this both expression we have r, right? So just take the value of r either from the first and put into second, or either take from the second put in. r का वैल्यू निकालो, चाहे पहले से निकाल के दूसरे में पुट करो, चाहे दूसरे से निकाल के पहले में पुट करो, और देखो क्या क्या कैंसिल होता है. देन लेट मी नो व्हाट इज द वैल्यू ऑफ वेवलेंथ यू आर गेटिंग. दिस वेवलेंथ.
So lambda equals to h by mv.
h by mv, correct. Any other student has got it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
लैम्डा इज इक्वल टू एच बाई एम वी, और लैम्डा इज इक्वल टू एच बाई एम वी क्या है? हमने जस्ट अभी कैलकुलेट किया था, डी ब्रॉगली
h by p.
H by D.
एच बाई पी, विच इज डी ब्रॉगली वेवलेंथ, राइट?
Yes, sir.
So he explained his wavelength through the Bohr's orbit, Bohr's or theory of stationary orbit, and he got the exact expression, right? So now there are two important relation in quantum mechanics. First is, see, P is equal to h by lambda, which we already derived. So what we can do is we can multiply or divide by 2 pi. So 2 pi we have in numerator and denominator. Now this 2 pi and this lambda, we can combine these two and write as a k, which is a wave number, है ना? K is equal to 2 pi by lambda is called as a wave number. You must have listened this wave number. Have you know what is wave number? सुना है कभी पहले वेव नंबर? सुना तो होगा. नहीं सुना या सुना है? हाँ सुना होगा ना वेव नंबर. सो दैट्स इट. एंड दिस h by 2 pi, this h by 2 pi, since h is also a constant, 2 pi is also a constant, so we can absorb these two and write it as a h cut. So this is a new constant h cut. So P is equal to h cut times of k. So this is the expression for momentum. P is equal to h cut times of k. This is one more expression for momentum. And why we derive this? See, because E is equal to h nu, and we want to bring these both expression into the same line so that we can remember it in a easy way. So that's why we did it as a h cut k. Now we will do same with the energy. E is equal to h nu, and we can multiply and divide by 2 pi, and this 2 pi into nu, this will be omega, and this h by 2 pi we can write it as a h cut. So E is equal to h cut omega. So now we have two expression. Momentum is equal to h cut times of k, and energy equal to h cut times of omega. These are the two important expression in quantum mechanics. So you need try to remember. हाँ बोलो, कुछ बोल रहे हो?
H cut क्या है?
H cut is a constant, like h is a Planck's constant. So h cut is h by 2 pi. It's a new constant, and it's a standard. Like you will find it in every book. H cut. Means it's not like I am defining it. It's a standard constant. Like the value of h is 6.6 into 10 to the power minus 34. Right? यही होता है ना Planck's constant का वैल्यू. तो h cut का वैल्यू हो जाएगा h by 2 pi, which is 1.1 into 10 to the power minus 34. Right? क्लियर है सबको?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So we reaches at two expression. P is equal to h cut times of k, and E is equal to h cut times of omega. Now we will derive other expressions of de Broglie wavelength in terms of kinetic energy or in terms of accelerating potential. We will do this in your next class tomorrow. I will stop this class here itself, and you can give the test of today, which is all of you got the test link, na? All of you got the link?
IMCRP पे देना है ना?
हाँ हाँ IMCRP पे कोड मिल गया ना उसमें, तो उस पर जाके दे दो। और आज तुम लोगों की लैब भी है शायद मेरे साथ, तो एक बार टेस्ट दे दो सारे, और मेरे को बता देना अगर कोई ना दे पा रहा हो टेस्ट, तो मतलब कुछ अगर दिक्कत आ रही हो तो लेट मी नो।